Yo, and we have another story for you guys, and this time we're catching up with the passport bros. Yeah, a long time since I had a passport bro story, and this guy is called Chill Capo. I done a little research, and then people were talking about him, how he got deported, and I was like, I remember seeing just a few days before he doing like a video of like all the days of these times, or is it all over in Medellin, Colombia? I was like, I gave the guy a good watch, and he had some good points when he was talking, but like he's just like most of these passport guys, they stir up a hornet's nest. They upsetting the powers that be. And what these people don't realize, even though you're on YouTube with like maybe 744 subscribers, and you think, oh yeah, this is going up to a small minority of people, they're watching. So let's just watch this video.
Aim of exploitation. The action was taken by Colombian immigration authorities after verifying his behavior and immigration status in the country. The promotion of illegal activities. The foreigner, identified on social media as Chill Capo, was disturbing content aimed at international tourists, offering packages and recommendations for partying in the city. His posts include tips on how to evade authorities, which raised red flags for law enforcement agencies. On his social media, he also shared videos explaining how to avoid being a victim of theft or poisoning during encounters related to services.
That's not a bad thing, if you're going to meet a woman of the night, at least he's telling you how to avoid being scoped. I don't know what's so bad about that.
As well as suggesting places to stay and experiences aimed at foreign visitors. One of the most sensitive issues identified by the authorities was the dissemination of recommendations to circumvent immigration controls at the Jose Maria Cordova International.
Okay, that could be a problem there. And the joke of it all is that he's on YouTube making videos about this while in their country. You're gonna laugh that you could be talking bad about them while in their country and you think nothing's gonna happen to you. Ah dear. You could have think like, man, you could have said all this stuff if you was in America, and they'll sit down there, they'll laugh it up. But you're in their country?
Airport. Among these, the possibility of simulating injuries or presenting fraudulent medical certificates to access faster procedures was mentioned, which could constitute irregular conduct. The influencer's content also included offers of transportation services and high-end vehicles with security schemes that, according to reports, could involve carrying a weapon.
Man, that's just bad. Chill Capo, man, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? The joke of it was that it's not like this is all accidental. He's making these videos and they're out loud. Look, he's got 744 subscribers. I wouldn't even feel this guy's a big deal. He's not a big deal. He's been around for years. Years. Some of these videos are going back. And you know what's really weird? Is that he hasn't been active for a long time. When I wanted to do some research, I was like, man, this guy hasn't been active for like years. Look, one video was 10 years ago, then one was a year ago, and another one was a year ago. And then all of a sudden, he comes back on YouTube, okay, and bang, he's been deported. They said it's something to do with like his immigration status as well. They say like he overstayed, so it's a bit of a stupid thing to be on a platform talking bad about the country, saying, oh yeah, they're trying to get rid of the prostitution, this and that, and all the while you're not even really meant to be in the country. It's crazy. Here it is again. Remember this guy, Chill Capo, who ran a large Medellin social media page? He was deported today. Dang. Main reason, he used his social media to promote parties, meetups and experiences. Man, I don't even see what's wrong with that, man. It's showing people a good time. For international tourists that authorities say have clear aims at sexual exploitation and sexual tourism. I think he's saying the quiet part out loud. This stuff goes on in Colombia. It's always gonna go on in Colombia. But the fact of the matter is, they don't want you to shout it out like, "Hey, guess what, guys? Bunch of women here, bunch of drugs." They don't want you to. They don't want that to be promoted out loud. And that's what these guys do. When you look at the whole passport bro movement, it was good when it was like a small movement. The more you got into it, the more people started to call themselves passport bros, the more louder it got. And in order to live the lifestyle, they thought that they had to find some way of making money. And how they thought of making money? I'm gonna tell you? I'll tell you. They have these Patreons and they say, "Hey, this is where you could find all these hot ladies. I'm throwing a pool party and a yacht party. All you guys here, I know where to find all the hot women." Of course they're gonna find the women. Yeah, here's all the women. They charge the guys from abroad. They come in, they hook up with the women, so on and so forth. I mean, I don't know if that's how it goes. But, you know, you gotta wonder how these guys sustain themselves abroad. And also, I feel that there also is another thing where they're trying to monetize, or, you know, monetize from YouTube as well, where just talking about the passport bro movement and certain things that goes on in Colombia is searchable by foreigners, and they'll be looking into wanting to go to Colombia, going to Thailand, places like that, and they'll watch the videos and they're monetizing it. And that's how I think how these guys get paid. I mean, I could be all wrong, I don't want to talk bad of Mr. Chill Capo, you know, I don't know him, you know, I don't know the dude. Seemed like a nice guy, but I'm just saying that maybe, you know, that's how they get, and they probably get a cut from it, you know, from introducing some of the women into the foreign guys. I mean, I said, I don't know if this goes on, but, you know, as I said before, it looks like this stuff is always gonna happen, always gonna go on. But when you start making videos and saying the quiet part out loud on YouTube, I think that's where people in Colombia or somebody out there to do with the government doesn't like the way you're portraying Colombia. That's all I need to say. They probably don't like the way it's being portrayed, and they obviously know this stuff goes on. It's always gonna go on. But if you keep promoting Colombia for this type of tourism, this sexual tourism, I think that's where you're gonna get yourself in trouble. I mean, you know, I don't even know what happened to Skylar. You know, I don't know why he got deleted, but it probably was somewhat of the same type of. Man, I don't think he was circumventing anything, but then he was giving us little clues here and there's like, "Hey, I you know, he's saying like he knows how to work around the women, but I don't want to go on to him, because this is about Chill Capo. I don't want to talk about Skylar here, because he was a whole different kettle of fish. He was cleaning up his act. This guy here, he was barely on YouTube, and he came back and he got himself deported. And it seemed like they might be after some of these social media networks as well. 'Cause I tried to get into his Instagram and it's gone. 1 minute it was there, next minute gone. I'd be surprised if the YouTube channel stays up, because if they got rid of Skylar, and we considered him kind of tame when it came to all this passport bro nonsense. You know, I consider Tyler tame, because he was saying what he was saying, but he kind of like tried to move away from it, but he was still on it. But this guy, he's got some videos up there and he's talking about the prostitution, the government, pro-friendly nightclubs. Who knows? It says they flagged his earlier tips on dodging immigration controls and other shady advice as crossing the line. No more vibe culture in Medellin. authorities are cracking down hard on this stuff. I think this stuff, as I said before, it's always going to be going on, but they just don't want somebody on YouTube shouting it out so loudly. And he also has, here's his Instagram, one of his Instagram that's still up. I mean, he's not really doing it, just reporting the news, but it seems like it's bad news all the time. So he's in their country promoting bad news about the country of Colombia. And from what I look at it, it's like, now he's the news, right? So they must have thought, like, you making us look bad. Okay, we're gonna find you. And then just to deport the dude, man. And this is his other page. Capo. Something went wrong. This is issue with the page. I'll try and redo the page. It comes back. Oh no, it's not coming back. It's gone completely. This is his website. I mean, Steve Capo, new lad, social media expert, online marketing and brand advisor. Man, this guy only have 744 subscribers. You're gonna pay this guy to a social media expert? Oh my God. If this guy had, you have to have a proven track record to be a social media expert. But mind you, yeah, his Instagram did have 15,000 followers, and he was more active on Instagram. I can't knock the guy and say he don't know what he's doing to a point, but 15,000 depends how long he's been on there for, and then he was just posting news. So I wouldn't call it anything that is too. It's not really him. It's more of like he just reposting what's already out there. Online marketing, brand advisor. Okay, brand advisor. Yes, is X site or Twitter, that's gone. That's been suspended. I mean, look, man, it's one of those things. You gotta be careful, man, how you tread these days, because a lot of these passport bros now, they're starting to realize that you can't be talking bad about the country. You can't be talking about bad. You go to a place like Colombia, they're cracking down, and there's still people out there thinking they won't get sniped. I'm not gonna like wish bad on people, but you just need to steer away from this whole hook up, talking about the country, the women, where to find the women, escort. It seems to be upsetting somebody out there to the point where like they're trying to look for people and get them sniped, get their channels deleted, get them deported. And I think there's other things in the country. I mean, yes, you will find that there, but you don't shout it out so loudly. But it's one of those things, like, you know, as before, I think the passport bro movement kind of ruined some of these countries. Cause now you got a flood of like tourists in there looking for this specific experience, and they're selling it to people and making money off of it. I don't know if Mr. Capo made any money selling these experiences to tourists. I don't know. They said he was throwing parties and all sorts, but you know, where there's parties and there's money, there's women, right? And you're in Colombia, then women will fly there, man. They fly like birds to bread. You know, I'll go say something else. And yeah, just have to be careful these days, man. You know, I'll see if his channel's still there in a couple of days. Who knows? They might snipe him, they might not. He's not really active on YouTube, unlike some people. But some of his videos seem to be a little bit incriminating. So we'll see. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.